Welcome into the Commanders Report. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Today we got a brand new update on the Terry McLaurin negotiations from ESPN reporter Adam Schefter, and today we're going to be breaking down the very latest on Scary Terry's negotiations. But before we get into all the content today, click that subscribe button for the very latest updates surrounding Terry McLaurin. Of course, when that contract comes down, and I do think that it will be coming eventually, we will be getting you guys a video to break it all down right here on the Commanders Report. So if you don't want to miss any of the updates surrounding this saga leading up to the start of Commanders training camp, click that subscribe button and join the most interactive Commanders fan community anywhere here on YouTube. So here's what Schefter had to say about the ongoing contract extension negotiations between the Commanders and Scary Terry. The quote, "There's no update on the Terry McLaurin situation, and that's the update. The problem is with this particular situation, I think Terry McLaurin is going to argue that we've seen other wide receivers who his numbers are comparable to, like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and DK Metcalf, get paid over $30 million per year this offseason. And then the Commanders can say yes, but Mike Evans, who has also had comparable numbers, is at $24 million a year. There really is quite a difference and a gap between what both sides would want. They have not made any progress. So obviously, hearing those words, the team and the player have not made any progress, is not great news if you are a Washington Commanders fan, and it is uncomfortable as we are just weeks away from the start of Commanders training camp, okay? But if this is true, and I do tend to believe, what Schefter has to say here, I get why Terry is upset with where the Washington Commanders are kind of negotiating with. If the number is true that apparently, they feel like he's worth Mike Evans level money, which is just $24 million per season for somebody that was an all-pro last year and had 13 touchdowns. I understand why Terry McLaurin isn't taking that money right now and is demanding at least $30 million per season, because you look at the wide receiver market today, the top of the market is over $40 million per season. So if the Commanders are not even offering him 30 for somebody that is stuck with this organization through the Taylor Heineke's and the Sam Howells and the Carson Wentz's, and has played extremely well, and then when he finally got a good quarterback in Terry McLaurin, had a 13 touchdown season, I completely understand why Terry is holding out for more money and why he is frustrated in this situation. If Schefter's reporting is correct here, that the Commanders are trying to pay him in the mid-20s per season, and I think that plain and simply, guys, if I'm Terry McLaurin, I'm not backing off that number given where the current wide receiver market is, especially with the cap number getting higher and higher and higher for these NFL teams every single year. If Washington's offer is not over $30 million per season, I don't think Terry McLaurin is going to take it. And honestly, that number might be $33 million per season. DK Metcalf got $33 million per season from the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. And Terry McLaurin, I would argue, is a better player than DK Metcalf is. So I think that that's where the offer needs to go. And I do think the Commanders will eventually get to that number. They're just playing hardball with their number one receiver right now. So coming up here on the Commanders Report, I'm going to let you guys know why the Washington Commanders and Adam Peters are playing that hardball and why they may be concerned about giving a wide receiver that's now over the age of 30 that much money. But before we get into that today, you guys can get a 50% off Commanders hoodie from our friends at Fanatics today when you go to chatsports.com/WAS hoodie. I really like this hoodie, guys. You got that awesome burgundy color. You got the patches on the sleeve. You got the logo there right on the chest. Plus, it's 50% off. You can wear this. It can be your lucky game day sweatshirt. It can be something that you wear to Commanders training camp when they have fans there this year. I just think that this is a super versatile Commanders sweatshirt, and it's 50% off. Plus, it helps out the channel because Fanatics sends us part of the proceeds for every purchase that is made when you guys click that link, chatsports.com/WAS hoodie. That link is down there in the comments and description of today's show. Just click that link, make a purchase to help out the channel, and help you get a 50% off hoodie in your collection today. All right, so from Washington's perspective, all right, if this reporting is true from Adam Schefter that they're only offering like $26 million per season, kind of Mike Evans level money, the reason for that is probably because they don't want to get burned from Terry McLaurin, who's now past the age of 30, to regress heavily, and then they're on the hook for a wide receiver that costs over $30 million per season, especially if most of that contract is guaranteed. And they might be specifically worried about that because of what we saw from Amari Cooper last year, because you compare Amari's numbers to Terry McLaurin's numbers when they were the same age. Cooper went in 2023. second to last season there in Cleveland, and then last season with McLaurin, very similar numbers. McLaurin did have more catches, but Amari Cooper did have more yards, obviously the higher average because of that, but McLaurin had a lot more touchdowns because the offense, plain and simply, the Washington offense was in the red zone more often, so obviously more opportunities there, and then the grade was very comparable. Plain and simply, guys, both of these guys are legit number one wide receivers, or at least they were at the time of these seasons. But then Amari Cooper gets to that next season past the age of 31 there, and you see where he gets last year with the Buffalo Bills and the Cleveland Browns, where it's just not good enough. I mean, the catches go down dramatically. Less than half the yardage he got in 2023 is what he got in 2024. The average went down quite a bit, around the same amount of touchdowns, which is crazy, but obviously not the best production from Amari Cooper last year, and a big regression. And if the Browns would have paid him a crap ton of money like he was asking for last offseason, the Browns would have definitely regretted that decision. So the Commanders don't want to be put in that situation where, even though Terry had an all-pro caliber season last year, in the NFL, it's about what you're going to be doing for me on this next contract and what you're doing for me now versus what you did for me on your previous contract. And that's just the cutthroat nature of the National Football League. And where I'm at with this situation, guys, is I get that concern that the Commanders have about a receiver getting older and the potential for regression here. But Terry's still a top 10 receiver in the game, in my opinion, and his connection with Jaden Daniels is awesome. And, I think that you got to pay him the money because, plain and simply, guys, the Washington Commanders have an awesome opportunity here where you got a franchise superstar level quarterback that's arguably already a top 5 quarterback in the NFL today, and Jaden Daniels on a super affordable deal, just $8.5 million cap hit this year, and then just over 10 the next 2 years as well. So you got to take advantage of this opportunity when you have cap space available to build around your superstar quarterback. Terry McLaurin is certainly a piece that's going to help you win during this kind of 3-year stretch, and honestly 4-year stretch when you count the 5th-year option for Jaden Daniels. Got to capitalize on this, and I think this team can absolutely afford to pay Terry McLaurin big dollars over the next 3 to 4 seasons. And the truth of the matter is, guys, the reason why the Commanders need to do that is because this team can't win this year without Terry McLaurin. Okay, he is their true number one alpha type wide receiver, and there's nobody else in this wide receiver room that's capable of executing that role. Deebo Samuel in his role, I think, can be very effective as a gadget type wide receiver, moving all around the formation, but he showed last year in San Francisco, the number one receiver goes down in Brandon Ayuk. He is not very effective if you ask him to do number one wide receiver type things. All right, he's better as a complementary piece. Noah Brown, very good complementary piece as well, but is he going to be able to take over number one wide receiver duties for Terry McLaurin and win a Super Bowl as a number one receiver? I really don't think so. So Terry understands he's got the leverage here, and he is standing pat to make sure the Commanders give him the money that he rightfully deserves, and I don't blame him. And in the end here, guys, I do believe that Adam Peters is going to cave and he's going to get something done. He understands that nothing's going on in the NFL right now, and he doesn't have to cave right now. He can stick to his number and hope that Terry is the one that caves. And if that happens, great. The team is paying less money to the player. But he also understands that, probably the case is, he's probably not going to move off his spot, and, eventually the team is going to have to pay him. And you have to remember, too, guys, that Adam Peters comes from the John Lynch School of GMing there with the San Francisco 49ers, where Adam Peters was there during a lot of these contract disputes. Back in 2022, Deebo Samuel didn't get his contract extension with the 49ers until July 31st. That is past the start of training camp. All right, then Nick Bosa in 2023 didn't get his deal until literally days before week 1 on September 7th. And then just last year, even though Peters wasn't there, John Lynch waited until really the end of the preseason there to get deals done for both Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams. Okay, so that kind of school of GMing, John Lynch, he likes to lowball guys up until the very last second, and then he caves and gives the money to the players that they want. And Adam Peters is doing the exact same thing to Terry McLaurin. It's uncomfortable for the fans of this franchise. It's uncomfortable for sure, but I fully expect that this team is eventually going to give Terry McLaurin the money that he rightfully is going after right now, and I do expect him to be a Washington Commander in 2025. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. What is the percent chance that Terry McLaurin gets gets traded this year. Let's put this on a scale of 0, meaning no chance he gets traded, to 100, meaning he is definitely getting traded. For me, I'm going to go the Oppenheimer number here, guys. Near 0, okay? Near 0% chance. There's always a chance that the atmosphere is going to light on fire and the world is going to end. But you know what? I just don't see that happening, knowing the history of this GM, knowing the history of Terry McLaurin. And Jaden Daniels definitely wants Terry McLaurin to be here, and Terry wants to be here. I just don't see many scenarios here where Terry McLaurin is not playing for the Washington Commanders this season. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate all of your guys' support. We're going to have more Terry McLaurin updates leading up to training camp right here on the Commanders Report, as well as some other great content all throughout the weeks here leading up to the start of the 2025 NFL season. So click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Until next time, guys, hail to the Commanders.